Okay, so when I was in the Mayo Clinic, when I was a little girl, I had a series of experiments to help me walk. And I fell off a bike, which turned my leg black in different types of blue. It wasn't completely black, it was kind of like a bruised color, but it was the entire leg. And I had to have some surgery, and then through the 3 years, I had gangrene. I didn't know it was gangrene. All I knew is that my leg was turning like a black leather, and it was an ulcer that kind of grew into something else. And it wasn't on the surgery site, it was like just above it. And at the time, I didn't know. All I knew is that they were doing all these things to do work on my leg. And I didn't want to be there. And so it got to the point where I was there much longer. There were no breaks to go home. And when my leg started deteriorating, where I could see the bone, in my head, I could no longer pretend it wasn't happening. So I think I was maybe 14, and I couldn't stare out the window and pretend I wasn't here. I couldn't use any of the things that I normally had been doing to keep my head cleared. And so I had stopped. I'd stopped talking. And I was just like, there was so much going on, and I was so overwhelmed. And it was what it is. I mean, there's nothing I can say or do, but and my father was there, and he was doing everything, and my uncles were calling, and telling me stories. But I don't remember how long it took me to talk again, but I do remember what helped. And that was just the beginning of my leg dying, and the beginning of the 3 years. I ended up staying in the hospital because of it. I lost a lot of my leg from the gangrene, and it was interesting. And my doctor, they were the old school doctors at the time. So, like, my surgeon would come in, John Woods, and read to me. And he was a really good doctor, a really good surgeon. But anyways, then and then a counselor or psychiatrist came in, and because at the time I just kind of stopped and just stared. And I was talking in my head, trying to talk. I was responding. It's just that I had hit my overwhelmed period. So back to what the doctor did to get me to talk. The doctor told me, and he opened like a mirror like this. This is a simple vanity mirror that goes underneath your thingy here. And he opened it up, and he said, "Look at yourself." And I'm like thinking in my head, like, okay, how is this going to help me? And he said, "Look in the mirror every day. Doesn't have to be anything, just look in the mirror a little bit." And he said, "When you can see how beautiful you are on the outside, He said, you will start talking again. So I do this, I'm looking, and then I close it, and then I go on, and I'm trying to talk. And then, my leg, they're packing it because by this time it had become like a crater. And the leeches and stuff like that. It was a lot. Then I was doing the mirror thing, and then I started seeing that I was really pretty. And I've always been a confident child because my dad raised me that way. And my grandma Messa would always tell me, and my uncles, everything. But anyways, so I kept doing that, and then I think, and then all of a sudden, the breakfast tray person came in to give me my breakfast tray. And they always say, good morning, is there anything you can do? And stuff like that. And I had just done the look at myself, and I started seeing that I was more than just my leg. And I said, thank you. And then, of course, she told everybody, and everybody was, and then the doctor came down, and he was all like happy. And I just started a little bit. And then I gradually, and I still did the mirror thing. I am beautiful. I am not my illness. I am a good person. And I can do this. So, yeah, that's how I came through the gangrene. So, and what was really sweet is that my Uncle Frankie, even though I couldn't talk, he actually tried calling me every day. And he was always trying to get me to talk. And I tried. But he never gave up. And that would have been my dad's uncle. But he was still my uncle. And then Aunt Diane and Uncle Jesse would call, and then my Aunt Mercedes. And then the school put a special phone so that I could call my dad. So they were really good about that. But yeah. And then that was around the time that those kids put the noose over my head. Yeah, because that was 3 years. And I was still in my wheelchair. And yeah, that was around that time. And probably the reason why I didn't really report it until I had to. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. But that was my mirror thing. So if you see a lot of pictures, I'm not vain. I am vain. I will admit that. It's made me vain. But not in a matter that I'm a mean, conceited one. Just that I use it as a tool to remind myself that it's okay. It's just a skill that I was taught from a male. That it may not work for some, but it worked for me. And it gave me the confidence. Besides other things, it was just part of the whole picture. It's not the whole picture. That I was going to be okay. That it doesn't matter. You know, I can do it. So, yeah, so that was that thing. So, I don't know, it's probably dorky to share, but I wanted to share because I had been doing it while I've been here. And that I might add, I have a flat tummy again. Woohoo! But anyways, I'm really happy about that. But so that's where the story of the mirror. So if you see me taking a lot of selfies and stuff like that, it's not, I was doing that way before it was a thing. But I was doing it for a different purpose. It was for my own eyes. I don't know what other people say. I could be the ugliest person on the planet. I have no idea. All I know is that when I look in that mirror, I see where I've come from. I see my heritage. I see my grandma. I see my father, my Aunt Phyllis, my grandpa. I see all of them, and I'm a strong person. In that I can do this. Sorry for crying. I get a little emotional when I talk about that because it was a really hard time in my life. Okay. I will end this now because someone's calling me. I will talk to you later, okay? Thank you all for listening. I hope it wasn't too, sad. It's not meant to be sad. All right. But, I forgot to finish the thought. I don't know what other people think or what I look like. But I see what's inside me. And that's what I see. So, I could be the ugliest person and I'm happy as a little pig because when I look through this mirror and see everything, then I don't know. It makes me feel that I can do this. So, yeah, I'm a dork. But I will let you guys go. Someone's calling. I better answer it. All right? Thank you for listening, and God bless, and Merry Christmas. I'll let you see the picture of the Christmas